Good morning and welcome to the best of the 757 Community Talk Show. And our guest today is the one and only, the hardest working lady out there in the 757. I'm talking about the one and only Serena Mann. She's here to talk about her new project, Impact. And let us get her on the scene because she only has about 30 minutes to be a part of this fantastic Serena Mann. She's coming on. That's a picture. She's always out there in the community working. Good afternoon, Serena. How you doing? Can you hear me now? Hello, Serena.
Yes, I am right here. I'm sorry. I had to get my little baby together because he was going
okay.
crazy in the background.
Oh,
Yes,
there
but
you
good
go.
morning. Good morning. Thank
Good
you for
morning.
having me
How you
on
doing?
today.
Your hair looks lovely.
Thank you. My daughter actually did. Thank
Oh,
you.
what? Uh-oh, another venture?
Well, she's actually been doing hair for about a year now, and she
Oh,
she has a lot of clients that come back to her repeatedly.
hey, you got to get it in where you can get it in there.
Got to give them something to do that's positive, so they don't get in trouble.
No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate you coming on today to talk about your new venture, Impact. Is that correct?
Yes, Impact is actually not new. We have
Oh,
been
okay.
around for 3 years,
Okay.
and our newest project is something that we've been working on for the past year and a half. We wanted to provide a hub where the community could come and get the resources that they needed. And so this summer, we will be opening up a holistic innovation center that will feature childcare classrooms for children birth up until 12 years, 11 months. We'll
Hmm.
have a room where we will offer financial literacy workshops for children and adults. So when we say children, we're starting as young as the fourth grade, and then we will be going all the way up to the 12th grade, and then for the parents as well. We will have health and nutrition workshops, and most importantly, we will be using STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math, as a platform for positive self-expression. So we'll be offering our premier program that we're doing is going to be a drone program, and we're currently looking for participants for that. But just giving our community more exposure to STEAM, developing interest in it, and being able to align with the career paths that a lot of times people are not even exposed to, but they don't know that they're missing out, because you could be doing something that you really like and making way more money than some of the typical jobs that a lot of people have, like retail, fast food. Not saying those jobs are not good jobs, they're
Yeah.
just kind of limited, and you don't have a lot of room to grow. So if we can help you find other things, then you have more options. So that's our current project that we're going to be doing. We're going to be offering a information session this Friday. No, I'm sorry, Thursday,
Mhm.
the 31st. So I can send you the registration link for anyone who might like to join us. It's going to be facilitated with Synapse, which is a nonprofit networking group based out of Richmond. They're
Okay.
helping us get the word out about what we're doing. And we're just super, super, super excited because this has been a long time coming. You remember years ago
Yeah.
when we were
Yeah.
talking about this, and it's just exciting because we actually are doing it. It's really happening, and it could not have been for the community, the help from those that have supported our fundraisers,
Mhm.
you, one of our media partners, helping us get the news out. And we just really appreciate the Hampton Roads community. And we know that when we kick the second phase of this fundraiser, starting this Friday, April the 1st, we are sure that we will reach our goal of $20,000. We're going to be using that money to buy all of the equipment we need to offer the STEAM workshops.
Okay.
So we are super excited.
So your event is this Thursday, and you said it'll be on. You'll send a link out so we can share it with other people that want to be a part of learn more about what you're trying to do in the community. You know.
Absolutely. I will get that link sent out to you before the day is over,
Mhm.
and you can, share it with everyone who might be interested
Yeah.
in what we're doing. Just an information session, because we got a lot of work to do, here. They say that charity starts at home,
Mhm.
and we have things going on around the world. I get it. However, we don't live around the world, we live here. And
Right.
so we have to make sure that the place that where we live is a positive place, is a place where the people are getting the resources they need and that they're fulfilled, because that's the only way that we can change the world.
Right.
Like Michael Jackson said, you got to start with the man in the mirror.
Mhm.
And so if
Yeah.
that man or woman in the mirror is broken and they're stressed out because they don't know how they're going to pay their bills, they don't know, who's going to be there to help them watch their children so that they can work. They don't know if they're going to be able to graduate and get a GED or a high school diploma because of life circumstances that might be around them.
Mhm.
These are real life things. So if you have
Mhm.
people that are broken and stressed out and don't have any financial education, you're leading to a place where you're going to have good people in unfortunate situations. And we all know them. We
Yeah.
all know people that are good people, but for whatever reason, financially they just always seem to struggle and to be behind, and that takes a toll on the rest of their life in every aspect. So
Yeah.
what we're trying to do is to help holistically revitalize the Hampton Roads community, and we're starting in Portsmouth, this summer, and we will be growing out to the other cities as well, because this is something that's needed desperately so that we can take back our children from the streets. I know that you definitely are an advocate for that with everything that you do, so you know how important it is that we get our children's attention back so that we can mold them in the right way.
Mhm. And if for those that may not know, what made you decide to do this? I know you started years ago, but just to give them, background on what you're trying to do, because they might know you as the credit doctor of VA. Let's get the credit straight, because that's part of the future generation, and the credit is part of what the young people need to know. That if they finish high school, they should understand by going to college, even if it's just Tidewater Community College, is that their hand signature alone is worth $50,000 when they enter college.
Right.
And they need to be educated to the point where when they go and apply for these grants to go to college, is to learn how to maximize building their credit. That's part of building their credit, you know.
Right. Building their credit and knowing that you don't have to take every loan that's extended to you.
Right,
Just because they're giving you $100,000 in student loan or 50,000 or 20,000, do you need that? You
right.
don't just get it, because guess what? That's not free money. And a lot of times it messes you up
Mhm.
because you get it, you're having fun and all of that. Then when you are ready to have more in life, your credit is messed up and you have all this debt you're trying to plow through in
Right.
order to, get to the next step. I told a friend of mine the other day, I said, with me and my daughter, we've had a plan for the past year or so
Mhm.
that she's going to work for 2 years prior to turning 18. So she got a job back in November,
Mhm.
and she has to have 2 years of work history. But I told her when she turns 18, I'm going to help her purchase a home
Okay.
somewhere close to where she wants to go to college. So that way she doesn't have to start off behind the eight ball.
Right.
See, we're so quick to tell our kids, oh, you got to go to college first, right when you get out of high school, and you
Mhm.
need to be focused on your schooling and all that. And I'm not taking anything away from that, that's fine. However, the majority of the people that I sit down with, by the time they get out of college, they have so much student loan debt that their debt to income ratio is off, they can't even purchase a home. So
Right.
then they're living in an apartment where the rent is continuously going up, and they don't have any equity, any access to any capital whatsoever. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I told my friend, me and my daughter, we're going to buy a house wherever she wants to go to college. And
Right.
that way we don't have to worry about room and board. We don't have to worry about extra money for this and that, because she'll get a couple of roommates just like she would if she was on campus.
Right.
The roommates will pay, the mortgage on the house, and they
Yeah.
will pay, for the utilities, and they will provide extra money for her, so that way she don't have to worry about stressing herself out working if she don't want to work, so that she can focus on her studies. And when she gets finished with school, we can do a cash out refi, pay off all her student loans, and
Mhm.
now she still has an income producing asset. Well, the friend of mine is someone that I definitely hold in a very high regard, someone that is very affluent, very wonderful person. However, it showed me how ignorant they were financially. They're definitely not in a bad position financially. Don't mistake what I'm saying.
Right.
What I'm bringing to the surface is that just because someone is okay financially doesn't mean that they're completely financially literate. She's saying, well, you don't want to lose the equity that, you have in your house, who cares about the equity you have in your house? You don't have any more student loan debt.
Right.
You have an
Oh,
asset that continuously is going to bring in more income. You can get that equity back within a year or two, depending on how well the property is cash flowing. If you're making a few $1,000s off this property, then who cares about the equity being gone? As long as you have a means to have the mortgage paid and to have income coming in, you want that. You want that because after you pay off the student loans, guess what? The equity is gone at that moment, or it might go down. But like I said, in a few years, it's going to be right back up again. And then you can use that money to do something else, to buy another property. You can
right.
use that money to pay off your property quicker. Like, I don't think she knows, like, if you pay one extra payment per year on your mortgage, you're shaving off about 7 years off the life of your loan. So if you have a 30-year loan and you pay one extra payment per year, not saying that you have to pay a large amount of money. If your mortgage is $1,200, pay an extra $100 each month.
Right.
That's gonna give you your extra payment. And over time, you're shaving off 7 years of payments and interest that you would not normally be able to do if you just paid the minimum payment. See,
Right.
that's the type of thing that I would tell, the person that I was talking to, have you thought about this? We pay this, we could catch right back up. And we
Right.
still are at an advantage because she didn't have to worry about her student loan debt, how she was gonna pay it. She don't have to worry about, money for dorm room and this and that. Like, we have to think differently.
Yeah.
We're so in a box. And you asked the question, you said, how did I get into this? My background is early childhood education. I've been doing that for 13 years out of my house, and that's
Okay.
how I really learned, that families need care as a whole. Families need, childcare, but the parents need help too. So
Yeah.
with that being said, that's what pushed me to start, doing the credit doctor at VA. I started working with families in my daycare, helping them get into
Mhm.
positions where they could save more money, manage their money better, fix their credit, protect their assets, all those sorts of things. And organically, it just grew because I love teaching, I love helping, I love empowering other people.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it. And, once we got going, we wanted to involve the community in a greater way. So we started the nonprofit Impact 3 years ago, which is individuals making positive, active change together. Impact. So that way we can expand and we can bring more people into the fold because this information is needed. It's
Yeah.
not just my daughter that needs this information. How many other people out there have children that you never even thought about doing anything like that?
Hmm.
You've been conditioned to think that you have to do it this way. You have to go directly to college from high school and then buy a home. We never taught to learn how to possess an asset that can produce income. That's what financial freedom is. It's not about being a millionaire. It's plenty of people that are financially free that only make, thousands of dollars, but
Yeah.
it's because they have assets that can take care of all of their living expenses.
Right.
So those assets is what allow them to be financially free. So we need to get educated financially and help our children to learn how to get more income producing assets.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I agree with you 100% because, like I said, my youngest son, he's now 22. When he first graduated from high school, he said, "Dad, I don't really want to go to college," but I said, let's try it out. If you don't like it, he said, "I'll try it out for a year." And if I like it, I'll stay. But then he came back and he wanted, because he was first wanted to be a rapper. Then he wanted to be, then he said, I want to be a comedian. So he said, Dad, I went the first year and I'm winning half a year. Plus he had a job. He was, saving his money, got excellent credit. He said, I don't want to go back to college. Okay, you don't have to. I mean, you started, it's not for you, do what you do. Now he took his real estate license. After he left and went to Denver with the pandemic and everything on, they closed down. Then he came back home. He came back and went to real estate school. Now he got his real estate license. So he's doing a lot of different things, juggling. But the thing is, he's doing what he want to do because he said, I can do this for a couple of years, but then after a couple of years, then I can go back to college
Right.
and finish up to get my degree. He's real smart and intelligent. But The thing is that we have to, I mean, with what you're doing, you give the opportunity to other people to come into this fold to be able, with your impact organization, to be able to get some of the same techniques and skills with uh, financial education. Because the key point to anything in life, if you ain't got no credit, you ain't got nothing.
Unless
And
you have money. Some
yeah,
people,
yeah,
if you have a lot of money, but most people don't have a lot of money. So
yeah,
that's why you need good credit so you can get access to the capital. That
right,
capital that can change your situation.
yeah,
The student loans, like you said, your signature, alone can get you lots of student loans. However, you don't need them all.
right,
Only get what you need.
yeah,
It's like a trap. That the same level of being able to go and sign so easily and getting a student loan, they don't have it like that when you buying a house. You
they
can't just
do.
easily go and sign to get hundreds of thousands of dollars to
Yeah,
buy a house. They
that's
don't do that because
yeah,
they don't want to give you something that's an income producing asset. They want to boggle you down with all of this debt because I want to
mhm,
say it's like maybe 75 or 80% of people that end up going to school and getting all these loans, they don't even end up getting a job or a career in what they went to school for.
yeah,
They don't even realize that until after they've already went through it.
yeah.
Look at all the time that's been wasted.
Hello.
4 years, that's a lot of time. That's a
Yeah,
lot of money. That's a lot of energy
yeah,
wasted for something that you truly did never have no real interest in. And if you would have been exposed to more stuff, you would have known that early on that that wasn't for you.
right. Yeah. And that's the key point again. Knowing and by being educated, listening to someone like you that have the experience. And like I tell people, I got 7 kids. All my kids graduated from high school, all of them. Two my oldest daughter, my oldest son, they graduated from college. My next oldest son, he went to career school, but they all professionally got great jobs. But the key point is they know how to get together, save their money. My other son, he's a financial advisor. Plus, he still works. Because he's in Miami, he works at the nightclubs. He does 2 or 3 got other investments. But the key point is when they don't talk to someone like you that know what they need to get done to get that, because it's not just about getting credit, it's about clearing up your credit so you get the lowest interest rate.
Right. You want to get those low interest rates and you want to make sure that you can be strategic with your credit.
Yeah.
Like me and my mom, I've always been like really big couponer. So I've taken what she's taught me,
Mm,
from that basic level. And now I use my credit to acquire other things that I want, like being able to, buy stuff with my points.
right.
I'm paying my bills with a credit card that I get points on that I can use that money for whatever else I want, buying gift cards or going on trips, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? But those things are only offered to people that have a certain credit rating.
Yeah.
So you can use your credit to generate more income, especially if you have a lot of, things in like a business.
Hmm.
Right now, with everything that we're doing with the Innovation Center, we are racking up so many points. We're using the credit card, getting the points and the bonuses, and then paying
Right.
it back off. Getting it, paying it back off, getting it, paying back off. Stuff that we were gonna have to buy anyway. It's not like we're going out of our way to buy stuff we don't need. We're buying stuff that we would have bought anyway,
Yeah.
and earning a bonus and a extra, stream of income from doing that. So that's why you just want to make sure that you're always being strategic. I know that finances overwhelm people sometimes. That's why it's very important to get someone that you can trust to be able to sit down with you and help you go through it. I've had clients that's had bags of mail that they were afraid to open because it was so overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
But stop making excuses. you know if you got a problem, then start working on a solution. Don't
Yeah.
just sit there and let it progress, because it's not going to get any better. It's not going to fix itself.
Hmm.
You have to be active in this, and you won't get it all right at first, but that's okay. At least you're making steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just make yourself one simple goal, just to check your credit. Check your credit once a month. Make that a goal to find out what is on your credit.
Hmm.
What is hindering you from getting to where you want to be. it might not be negative items. You might not have any credit. You might need to build some credit, you know?
Right.
You might
Yeah.
need to add on some more trade lines. You might need some credit mix, you know?
Mhm.
All those things are easy and they are things that you can do. You know, you can do it. You can.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's out of reach to us, but some of us have been, you know, conformed to think that only certain people are entitled to these resources, and that's not true. That's
Right.
why we want to just shed more light about our organization, get the good news out that we're on a mission to break these chains of financial bondage.
Yeah.
We are here to break the poverty cycle. We are here to raise up a generation of people that are fearless,
Right.
that don't have to be afraid about who they are and what they stand for, that are confident in who the creator made them to be.
Yeah. I just quickly came up with a new slogan for you. You know, because we deal with young people and all the violence in the area. It should be guns down, credit up.
I know that's right. Love
Because
it.
you ain't getting nothing with a
Love
gun.
it.
You ain't getting nothing with a gun. But some only you have to. I mean, you really have to. To me, talk. I just talk. To me, common sense stuff. You have to approach young people like this to make them think. What is a gun getting you? What is it getting you? You going to jail if you got an
Yeah, you're
illegal
gonna be
gun?
dead.
Are you going to be dead? So whose property? You bought a gun from somebody that sold your gun. They didn't give it to you. They sold it to you.
Right.
Now you use that gun to go out and do something illegal. Then somebody get killed or you get killed. Now you got shot. You go to the hospital. Who's accomplished? The hospital is making money because now they got to repair your body. Now, if you don't make it, they're gonna take all your organs out your body and sell them to somebody else. And where did the gun get you?
Nowhere.
Nothing. So if beginning to think, get them to think, hey, I can learn about how to use my credit, learn how to not to spend money unnecessarily. Do I need 100 pair of shoes to look good? Or do I need 2 pair of shoes to look good? Because that other money that I spend in the other 8, I put that in investment. I put it in a savings account. I don't have to have everything that come out new because you're
Right.
overwhelming the conscious and the subconscious because you're not allowing your mind to relax and think when it's time to go to bed. All these things are important. So that's why I always try to bring you on, and with your impact, organization and what you're trying to do, I think is really needed. You know, and I really believe that you could probably, after you get open and start this, you probably can expand to other cities.
We will. We will definitely be expanding. It's just one of those things, you know, once you build it, they will come. So it's just something different. You know, a lot of people, they don't always jump right on something that's outside of what is considered to be the normal. You know,
Mhm.
like I said, we're taught that you have to go to school and then after that you graduate and you go to college and then you get a good job and all that. Like we have been programmed to think that for hundreds of years.
Uh-huh.
So breaking that belief is going to definitely take some time, but that's okay. That is okay. You know, we will stay right here working as hard as we can to make sure that we get the word out and that we get these resources to our people so that they can start to live in that fullness that God created them to be in.
Yeah. And if y'all have any questions for the credit Dr. While she's here, or Serena Mann, about impact, how you can become a part of that. And she's going to be sitting on a link this week. I know she only has about 6 more minutes because she has to break and go to another function. But
I gotta
um,
go start picking my kids up. I still do
yeah.
daycare. I'm at work right now.
Oh,
My
okay.
baby's in the room watching TV with my assistant. So got a few minutes, but you know, I
Yeah.
always appreciate you bringing me on. And this is only the beginning. We will be sharing
Mhm.
more information. If you would like to get with me, you can definitely call me. My number is 757-254-8156. Again, that's 757-254-8156. If you have any questions about, you know, the organization, how can you support us, be a part of us. We're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for, community partners that can help donate in kind goods for the different things that we have going on. We're looking for board members so that we can help expand the effectiveness of the organization. So if you have any special skill sets and you know that you're supposed to be using them in the community, please feel free to reach out to me at 757-254-8156. Again, that's 757-254-8156. You can call me. I'm on Facebook. You can message me on Messenger, or you can email us at impactminds, the number 7.com. No, I'm sorry, it's info at impactminds number 7.com.
Okay.
And we'll be happy to connect with you and just see how we can work together to bring more value to the community.
Well, like I said, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show anytime. I think I met you about what 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was about 4 years ago now. It's been a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, and
Because when
you
I did the first basketball tournament, that's when we met, and
right.
that would have been 4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the pandemic and being shut down and all that, time kind of, get back on track. I know when I didn't, think about it when, go to the doctor, he's always telling you. But when I, came out of the hospital and went, he told me it would be about a year, after having COVID, that I can be able to get back to halfway, get back to normal, some way
Right.
normal. And so when I called yesterday and checked, after being checked, they said, your checkup is, good, it's getting better. And I can't explain to people, what happens and what goes on in the world. We got all these theories, but God don't make mistakes. So
Mm-mm.
when we go through things, we put us in a position so that maybe we're moving in the wrong direction to get us in the right direction, to get us to move where his word never go void, because all things are in scripture is seeing now. So why is with most people, they look at things, and you have to understand is if it's written over 2,000 years ago, you got a problem. You have a problem with what's going on. It's in the scripture. It's
Right.
already told you what's going to happen. Be prepared. Be also ready. But what we have to do, we're not preparing our young people,
Right.
because the enemy
That's
is
true.
after our young people, because that's our future resources. So if they can eliminate our young people, that's part of the resources. So that's why when it comes to you, like when you used to come to Old Dominion when I was doing it in the studio there, and you bring all the kids, and and we would be on, you wouldn't even know they was in the room.
Yeah.
But you ask them, that means that without even you saying anything to them, they sit there very quietly and paid attention. And then when they was called to speak, then they speak eloquently. These are 7 and 8 year old kids or 9. And
I
these,
think some of them were younger than that,
yeah,
like
yeah,
between
yeah,
5 and 8. They were
yeah.
young at that time.
And that's because of their upkeep, their home upbringing at home, and as well as you being a mentor, a babysitter to them, to put them in that position to start thinking. Like you said, your daughter has her own
Hair
customers,
business.
hair
Yeah.
business. So all those things are important because it builds faith, it builds confidence in them that hey, somebody believes in me. And that's the most biggest problem with young people when it comes to violence and bullying and stuff. The bully got to get somebody to be on his side so he can bully other people.
Right. And a
Yeah.
lot of that is just due to insecurities. And
Right.
sometimes the bullies, they don't understand what's going on in class. So it's easier to disrupt the class and, get a positive response from your classmates opposed to the teacher, you
Mhm.
know, giving you a negative response saying that, hey, you did this wrong. They don't
Right.
want to hear that they did it wrong. They don't want to hear that they're messing up. You never know what kind of conversations people are having in their head. We've
Yeah.
had so many people over the past few years, kill themselves. A lot of single mothers that felt like they just couldn't be a single mother anymore. The pressure just got too deep. They killed themselves. A lot of kids that were being bullied, online, and they had problems already at home, they don't feel that they're valuable, so they're killing themselves. You
Yeah.
never know the conversation that someone is having inside with themselves. So it's just very important to make sure that you're always letting your light shine, that you're trying to be the best person that you can be to uplift and to bring positivity to the community. And I appreciate you because that's definitely what you do.
Mhm.
And I just pray that you will continue to grow in your ministry, your show, and just helping all of the people in Hampton Roads with your encouragement. I really pray that that will continue to grow for you and expand. And we'll just keep working it out. We'll keep doing what we got to do.
Yeah, yeah, no question. And like I said, for those that may not know, you are the Credit Doctor is one of the sponsors of my radio show, and like it's important to have when you have somebody to believe in what you're doing to also financially support you. It means a lot. It means that it gives you motivation. It does. It's not sometimes it's not really about the money. It's just the fact that somebody said, hey, I'm going to water your seed and make it grow. Because we can't, no man is an island. God didn't make it so that we have to do it all by ourselves. He's going to do the heavy lifting, but he
Right,
also going to send you people that help, lift your ability, your ideals, and your concerns about what you're trying to do. If it's positive, he's going to make sure that grow. So that's why I always have to, constantly when you're doing something, hey, check what you make sure that, because you're always out there to motivate people. Ever since I met you, like I said, I watch you, I study you. If it's something that I can, come and, broadcast, that's the easy part. The hard part, you did the heavy lifting. You did the heavy lifting with this, with your impact organization and trying to let people be a part of that, because no eyes in team. I need somebody, because when you need someone and they're working together, that builds the team, and it's everybody can grow when you build a team. That's why everything people don't understand. Everything is really they don't even understand when they go in the bank that the bank use words that you're supposed to be using in your real life. When they talk to you, say you're going to invest in something. Let's see how we can grow your portfolio. When you walk in the bank, people don't understand. You see plants. Why do you see
right,
plants in the bank? Because it's about growth. It's about you understanding that you see that plant over there. They got greenery in there because everything is a subliminal message that you don't even know that you're being targeted with, so
right.
that they can get you to understand. And this is the thing that we are missing with our young people. You know, they don't know that they're cared for. If they know, I mean, some people do it because they are parents. But when you have to talk to people, strange kids, and like I tell people, I can talk to your kid in about 5 or 10 minutes. I can find out anything I want to know, because they got to believe in you. They got to
Mhm.
trust you. And that's when I saw you with the kids that you had. You made them feel important. And when you make kids feel important, they will live up to that expectation.
Yes, they will. Well, thank you so much. I gotta jump off here because I gotta get ready
Right.
to get back to
Yeah.
work. But I appreciate the opportunity. And again, if you guys want to get in touch with me, you can call me at 757-254-8156. You can message me on Messenger, Serena Mann, or you can email me at info@impactmind7.com. And me and my team will be more than happy to get back with you. Again, it was a pleasure, Mr. Vaughn, and I will see you the next time.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on today. Well, Serena, man, she had to come on for 30 minutes. But what's important with what we do? And, that's why I started all these projects that I work on. Because I keep telling people it's not about me. It's really should not be about you. It should be the question people should be asking themselves: why am I here? Why did God allow me to live to get this age? Why did everybody else or family or friend member caught COVID-19 and they passed away, but yet I'm still here? God sent each one of us on a mission. According to his will, we will continue to until we reach the goal that he wants us to reach. Sometimes it even is not our will, it's God's will. So when God put things in your place, put things in front of you, you be like, I don't want to do that. I want to go hang out. I want to be with this person. And that's why we have friends that sometimes when you're trying to do something, they don't sow into what you trying to do. They don't want you to accomplish. Yeah, I hear you, man, but all right, man, I ain't got time for that. Let me get, like I tell people when I be talking, all you gotta do is hang up. Because if you're interested in helping me, regardless of what I'm trying to do, at least give me the time to explain to you what I'm doing. So I'm not trying to convince you in anything, but somewhere along the way, our young people, if you're not listening to me, I know you're not listening to your kids. If you can't take time out to listen to me, I know I talk a lot. I tell people that's just me. I can't, when I was growing up, my dad used to say the same thing. Go sit down. You talk too much. Be quiet. But hey, I love my dad. So I love not getting a beating too. But the point I'm trying to make is if people can't help you with something you're doing, why are you calling them friends? Friends help friends. That's why it's the friends, But if you take the FRI off friends, you see it ends. See, you have a compound word that really tell you how life is. If I'm your friend and I'm trying to do the right thing and you continue to take me down the wrong road, that friendship is going to end. Friendship. We have words that's in front of us that really subliminatory tell us what we're going to do in life, and we don't even pay attention to it. We don't even pay it. Words have power. The Bible tells you words have power. But why are we not reading the word? Like I tell people, they're like, God created heaven and earth. How did he create it? Do you know? How did God create it? I'm going to give you a moment to think about it. So let me ask you this question. Did he create it with his hands? He did not create the world in which we stay in with his hands. He spoke it in existence. That's why the scripture tell you words have power. God didn't touch not one thing that you see in your life. He ain't touched nothing with his hands. He said, I will separate the darkness from the light, and I will call the day light, and the night, I'll call the darkness night. And that's how he did it. He spoke everything in existence. He said, let me separate the wet from the dry. And I will call the dry land, and I'll call the wet oceans, lakes. He never touched nothing. He said, let me fill the oceans with all sorts of creatures. Let me fill the dry with all sorts of creatures. He did not touch anything until it came to man. He said, I will mold man out of the clay of the earth, and I will call him, I will create in my image out of the clay of the earth. He made an image. He said, I'm going to breathe into his nostrils and give him life. We are made out of the clay of the earth. You see, man don't even want to take care of the clay of the earth itself. So why do you think man wants to take care of you? It's the will of God. God sent his angels to look over us day and night. You can't see them. You can't touch them. But they're there. You just imagine you went outside and you get home and watch the news, and you might say, there was a car accident. And you be like, darn, I just came by that street. But God allowed you to get home. He allowed you to get home. He sent angels to watch over you, to watch all of us. But we don't want to give God his credit due, because man say, well, the Bible says, You can be in the world, but you can't be of the world. We didn't get to the point we too of the world. Everything is of the world. Whatever the world wants us to do, we just do it. Hey, we lit. We lit. When you go to church now, they reported last week 40% to 46% of the churches that was open will be closing and never open again. Will not be opening their doors. Churches are fading. Now they're using the technology to broadcast on the internet. But how many of us tune in to church service? It's a little different, isn't it? Do you feel the energy, the spirituality that we might have been as adults been accustomed to, that we don't feel that same sensation? Because everything is internet. Everything that we see and do, everybody's dancing, everybody's twerking. But what about showing love? What about caring? What about helping somebody along the way? I'm not rich. I wish if I was, I probably gave it all away, because you can't take it with you. That's what our ancestors taught us in Egypt. They buried it so that they know that the years come by that we would find it. But those that found our treasures and riches hide it from us. But then God gave us knowledge that's with us all the time. And we won't pick up a book and read it. We won't teach our kids the good things to do. And when all this violence going on, our kids are out in the street different times of the night. When I grew up, and I'm pretty sure some of you grew up, your parents will tell you, you better be in the house or be on that porch don't let the sun catch you. Don't let that darkness catch you. Yeah, you could go places. I always went places. I always had the privilege of going places. But as I grew up in Portsmouth, Virginia, I used to go riding. Most of the time I had friends, but most of the time I spent a lot of time by myself. I just go ride through Portsmouth, different sections, and just ride and listen to music and just think, what is everybody else? I would see kids running across the street at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, going to 7-Eleven. Like, what is this? Why is it that kids are out this time of night? Anything could happen to them. We sometimes lose our way because the world tells us things are more important than taking care of oneself. We have so many we have kids that have gifts, but because of all the things that we have to go through, all the work we have to do to make ends meet, we tired when we get home. We don't show our kids that we love them. We don't even say, I love you. How was your day? Go sit down. I'm tired. I just want to get something to eat or fix dinner, or I stopped and picked something at McDonald's. Y'all can have cheeseburger and French fries. Healthy meal. The money that you spend I don't care who you is. If you tell me how much money you spend at McDonald's or Burger King to buy fast foods, I can take that same amount of money that you spent at those fast food places and go and shop and feed your whole family a good, healthy meal. It's just easy. Some things are just easy, common sense. I used to do teen dances back in the day. And I remember, with Frankie Soul Ranger. And he would say, we went to BJ's to pick up the stuff at the wholesale place. And he would tell me, he said, look, those kids are not going to eat those lima beans, man. You just wasted money, man. I ain't got no money to waste. I said, but you ain't the only one paying for it. I'm paying for this. They're going to eat these. Man, they ain't going to eat no lima beans, man. I don't even eat lima beans. I said, okay, well, so what? You don't have to eat them. And if they don't eat them, so what? I paid for it. So that night when I went in the kitchen and fixed the lima beans, you know, because my mother and them from the country. So when I was growing up, I was in there helping my mom in the kitchen, or my sister-in-law in New York when I went up for the summer. So when I fixed the lima beans, and I said, I told one of the teenagers, I said, take this plate right here, the Soul Ranger. I only put like 2 teaspoons up there. He come running back to the kitchen, say, yo, man, let me get some more. What was that? What was that you sent me? I said, no, you ain't getting no more of that, bro. I just sent you. I said, come on, man. I said, no, that's for the kids. He said, what was it? I said, those are the lima beans. You said that nobody going to eat, and you don't eat them. He said, no, man, there ain't no lima bean. I said, there's a can right there. It's empty. Isn't that the can? Isn't that what on the picture, what you eating? He said, man, I ain't never in my life I ain't never in my life ate these. And these are good. And after we put out the buffet for the young people, we ran out. I had fixed about 4 cans, and we ran out of lima beans for that evening. You never know what a young person's going to do or try until you give them the opportunity. If you give young people the opportunity, they will do whatever you show them what to do. Because if that wasn't true, then why are young people out shooting and killing each other? They weren't born with a gun in their hand. They weren't born knowing how to kill somebody. That is taught. We have to get young people back to the position of knowing that someone loves them and care about them. That's all we have to do. We have to be the parent. As they used to say, it takes a village to raise a child. I wrote in one of my comic books, today's village is raised by children. If you notice in the late 80s or early 90s, most kids, young ladies were having kids at 14 and 15 years old. So now you got a child trying to raise a child if they don't have no help. This is what happens when we take our eye off the ball, the prize. God gives us children. That's a gift. That's what he does. Children don't ask to be born. They ask to be loved. So why can't we just love them more? Why can't we make sure that they're not getting in the wrong situations that's going to cost them their lives, cost them to be incarcerated? This state right here at one time, Virginia, had 800 prisons. Over 800 prisons. I don't know what it is now, but I know most of them might have closed because they went to privatize. And when privatizing prisons, those prisons get paid anywhere from $100 to $150,000 a year to house a prisoner. These prisons cannot sit empty. They cannot sit empty. They have to be filled, or the state got to pay them anyway for those beds. Either way, why can't we get our kids to come in the house when they don't need to be? Ain't nothing out there on the street. Ain't nothing out there on the street but that. We see that. I've been in the club business ever since I was 22, 23. I've been DJing. If I live to see July, I'll be doing club business for over 50 years. Over 50 years. So when we think that God doesn't have his hand on your life, you're very well mistaken. We have children. He gave us a gift when he gave us a child to raise, to nourish, and to continue the journey when we are no longer here as adults, as we grow older. You see these gray hairs? You know, I could cover them up. I don't have to. I just wash my hair, and you'll see at some point, sometimes when you come on, that my hair is more whiter, but as I wash it and just like anything else, manage my hair, it turns darker by itself. It turns darker by itself. We have powers to do all the things that we need to do, but we let man tell us that we can't, you know. And before I close, I know that some people might be listening or viewing and stay in Norfolk. And it seems like, you know, there's always something going on. But the only person that is blamed for it is Chief Boone. He's only one person. But out of all the 7 cities, you only see him, our people, blaming Chief Boone because they think they can do better. If you could do better, you don't need to be the chief of the police. You need to be the chief of the community or your house. We sit around and point fingers. But what we need to do is making sure that our house is straight. As the Williams brothers, they might have been Melvin Williams, that sweep around your own front door. We have to protect our young people at all costs. You know, we shouldn't make our kids grow up and be under pressure or trying to have every new expensive item, clothing. Because there's some kids that go to school, parents can't afford it. So we done divided ourselves just by having certain clothes on that people cannot afford. Now our kids turn into bullies or being bullied. Which one? Life is short. We have to educate our young people to live life in a responsible manner. Police is there to protect and serve. But if you notice, our police is more disrespected than any police, and teachers are more disrespected than any other profession. You ever notice how our kids can sing a song or rap a song, big dances to that song, have a favorite artist or celebrity? Why? Because they got money. They making money. But they can't make money or do anything without a following. To me, is when I grew up, we was taught respect our elders. If we respect our teachers, the people that has given us the knowledge, the ability to be able to create and do things, we will go a long way. Our kids will live to get a right old age because it's promised by God. It's already. Nobody can take your life. The devil will fool you because God is in charge and in control. We must uplift those that are out there on the battlefield. I had the pleasure of having Boone on the show. I thought one time, hey, I'm tired. I tired for 2-3 years. This man ain't coming on the show. That's the way the enemy works. But then I was at a meeting and he was there. He gave me his number and he said, call my people. And I did. They reached out to me and said, yes, we just need to know what type of show you do. And he came on. I don't know if y'all have seen that interview, but maybe I'll repost it. It's not about me. It's really not about you. It's what God have allowed us to be able to live in a world that he created, not man. Man will tell you all sorts of things, but it's God that gives everything your heart desire. If you learn to use the power that's within you, your faith, anything that you desire, God will give it. He says it in scripture. But I know that's religion to you. What we do every day. Do you look at Facebook? Do you go to your favorite pages? Do you text your friends? It's called a religion. That's why you're doing it. It's not just going to church is a religion. Anything that you do on an everyday basis becomes a religion. That's why we're so easy to be deceived. That's why we don't understand what is going on today in this world because we took our eye off the prize. God came for the children. He didn't sit no man on his knee. He picked up a child and said, anyone who touches a hair on this little one head will offend me. And you would rather have a millstone bound about your neck and cast into the middle of the sea. Do you understand that kids are killing kids at an early age? Where all this coming from? We're taking our eye off the prize. I didn't come to preach. I just come to let you know what we need to do. Do things that's going to let our kids get recognition. They think they're getting recognition by running around shooting in the neighborhoods and shooting at senior citizen places. And all they want is some attention. They can't get it one way, they get it another. I'm working on several different projects and campaigns that hopefully I'll be releasing in May or June for the young people to be involved in. Each thing and each step that I do, that's why I have 3 different names, represent different characters. You know, the voice of inspiration is more of the serious side. The dream maker is that we can make dreams come true for our young people if we come together. We can do that. I've been doing it all my life. And Captain 85 is my comic book hero. It's in all of our kids, because they have the gifts, but we won't let them use it. We have to come together to facilitate that in which others are trying to stop. Don't forget to join me today at 3 o'clock, every day at 3 o'clock until 6, live. For 3 hours, I play a variety of music. And why do I play a variety of music? Because most music that you listen to was created by our ancestors when they came to this land. There is no music that our ancestors didn't touch, didn't create, but we don't always get the credit. That's why they argue about what they're going to teach in school. Last I watched the news one day, and the white lady was speaking at the school board. She said, I don't think we should be changing the curriculum about uh, race theory. I don't want my kids to feel embarrassed or ashamed. And for those that don't know, that's why iHeart, that's why Clear Channel sold his stations. The president said he was walking past his daughter's room and he heard this music, and he knocked on the door and asked her, what are you listening to? She said, one of your stations, Dad. And after that, he said, I don't want nothing like that. I don't want to represent anything like that. So he sold it to iHeart. Clear Channel is the largest communication in the world. And I don't know if iHeart is all, but Clear Channel was all over the United States and the world. He saw the effect that the music was having on his daughter. And when I went to broadcasting school in New York and went to CBS, and the president of CBS said, I don't let my kids watch cartoons. They can only watch it an hour on the weekend. Most things they do is read books. We have smart kids. We just got to let them grow up to be smart kids. Well, that's my time. I hope y'all enjoyed this today. I hope I didn't talk too long. But join me with GA for Justice with Georgia Allen on Thursday at 12 noon. And Saturday, I'll be back because help is wanted in our community and help is needed. Until the next time we meet, till the next time we greet. I'll see you at 3 o'clock. Look for WVDM logo on Facebook or in Messenger. Bye-bye.